Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Crusader Kings II. And you will notice here that we haven't actually loaded the game yet, and that's because I keep on tabbing over to the straw poll, which I posted up, to decide what the next part of the Gelderland game is going to be. So we're going to load in as Gelderland initially, just so we can get the map up, but we are going to be leaving the Dutch dynasty behind now. I think that I've achieved everything that I wanted to with Caitlin and Gelderland as a nation. I didn't have much interest in invading Britain myself because I wanted to let the AI do that and just see how the Vikings could take it over. Caitlin got her bloodline. The bloodline is there. It's established. It's relatively secure. It's actually been inherited by a lot of people, so it should be able to continue spreading from now on. And I was kind of thinking, okay, so where do we want to go from this? I think it would be interesting to continue the game in the Shattered World, which we established through already 100 years-ish. And so I think I'm going to spend another 100 years or 3 or 4 generations with another nation, and then probably switch again after that point. What I really want to do, ultimately, is play a Catholic in order to try and save Catholicism, because it's not doing well. It's basically just got a couple of holdouts in Spain, a little bit in southern France, and that's basically it. Oh, and Scotland. Scotland might also be Catholic, but the heresies have done amazingly well. But I didn't think there was any real point in playing the Catholics until Crusades became available, and that is definitely not until beyond the 1066 start, so we've got well over 100 years. Where is her capital? Brugge is a nice city. Oh, it's Gelderland, of course. It's right there. So, okay. What does that leave us? Well, I was spending a little bit of time scrolling around, having a look, and basically coming up with a couple of choices. Excluding the Catholic nations, I thought, okay, Asturias, Sicily, and the nations in those areas are out, because I don't want to screw up the politics of those regions too much. So I was kind of looking a little bit more to the east. And a couple of people stuck out. First of all, we have Corvuna, who was the first merchant republic ever, which was established by the amazing Bulgarian queen. I think it was her brother, or maybe one of her sons, who became a merchant, ruled a city, so became a merchant republic, and he is in charge of Corvuna, which is this. And it still exists. It's still a Grand Mayor, and it's still a merchant republic, although it does not actually show up in the merchant republic list. That is only Holland, because I think it's not big enough. I'm not actually sure why it doesn't appear there, because it is a duchy. See, it shows up in the Dukes list, and it is a Grand Mayor. But anyway, that is a merchant republic. We could play as that merchant republic. That was one of the options. Then the other one was, okay, I'll have a look and see if any other nations could potentially form a merchant republic. I looked up here, I was like, yeah, I don't really fancy playing as any of those, except maybe Novgorod. More about them in a minute. I know, what about Venice? So I took a look at Venice, and I was like, okay, they're independent, that's good. Wait, what? Norse? Germanic? The Vikings have taken Venice? Like, legit taken it? Settled it? Everything. It's not a merchant republic, but it would be fairly easy to switch to becoming one. Basically, we would just need to oust one of the counties, then oust one of the city mayors, take it over ourselves, and then make it the primary title, and then we would become a merchant republic. So that could be interesting, but we would still be Norse, we'd still be Germanic. We've done a lot with raiding, so that'd be alright. Okay, so who else? Well, I thought over here, Bayberud could be good, because I have not actually played any games with the merchant republics where the trade route system has come in. So that's all completely new to me, which is one of the reasons I do want to play as a merchant republic. And maybe that's something we'll do later in the game, I don't know. And the Bayberuds actually own one of the routes. I think it comes through here. It's unfortunately not going to show us on the load screen, but they would be in an excellent position. They are actually a nomad right now, so we would have a little bit of nomadic gameplay, but we would settle pretty quickly and then form the Bayberud Merchant Republic and start dominating trade here in the Black Sea. And we would actually have Corvuna as a competitor, so that'd be quite interesting. And we could eventually probably move down to the Levant and start tapping in some of the trade coming through that area. So that'd be pretty cool. Another interesting option. And then I thought, okay, so what about the religions? There's quite a few religions around that we could probably try and reform, like we did with Germanic. So Catholic and Orthodox still around, still Reformed, still pretty hardcore, likewise with the Islamic nations. And my Phaisite African doesn't seem like it needs any help whatsoever. Same with my Phaisite. We could play as an Islamic nation, actually. I hadn't even considered that, but yeah, that would be a possibility. In fact, they're almost gone. Maybe after this. Maybe just before we do the Catholics, we'll play as one of the Islamic nations and try and save them. But then I thought, you know what? What I'd like to do is reform some of the other pagan faiths. So Slavic, Tengri, and Suamensko being the main ones, although we've also got Remover over there. And so I started looking around and seeing, okay, so who could legitimately do this in about 3 generations? So we click on Slavic, we can see where the holy places are for the Slavs. Not too difficult, and of the Slavic nations, the one that is by far the most organized, and sorry, not Slavic was these guys, was Lachon Averia, and they are a little bit fragmented, shall we say. This is them, that's theirs, this is theirs, this is them, going all the way down here. So they're actually pretty big, and they have quite a lot of power, but man, they are fragmented. But they're also very close to a lot of the Slavic hotspots. Remember, you need to control 3 of them in order to reform, so it's doable. Absolutely doable. So that was one of the options. And then we also have the Suamenusko. I've been pronouncing that completely wrong. With one obvious nation, which is my beloved Novgorod. And I was so happy to see this. We've actually got a very coherent, very well-established Novgorod here. They are... actually, he's Slavic, but we could... Oh, no, so he is Suamenusko. So Novgorod would be an excellent stopping-off point to doing that. And their holy sites are really close. One there, one there, one there, one down here, and then the 5th one over there. So this one would be rather more difficult to get, but Novgorod could do Suamenusko, which actually kind of made me think maybe the AI can be relied upon for that one. AI might actually be able to reform and save Suamenusko, so that would be really quite interesting. And then finally there was Tengri, which I have had virtually nothing to do with. Tengri are pretty divided. Actually, they're fairly well established, but they're nomads, and I have absolutely no experience playing with the nomads whatsoever, so that would be kind of an interesting thing to do. However, the Tengri's holy sites are actually fairly well spread out. Crimea, over here, 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 and I don't even know where the 5th one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 5. So those are all 5 of them. And Tengri themselves seem to be kind of being pushed back. Slavic and Suamenusko seem to have been doing a very good job at kind of pushing Tengri out. Remember, in my test game, Tengri took over basically the whole of Eastern Europe and were ridiculously strong. Probably would have dominated Europe for the next couple of centuries, but it seems to be on the decline here. So that would be more difficult. Also, I wasn't really sure which Tengri nation to play as, but Sutai seems to be the one in the best position, but they're also a huge nation. They're also very spread out. So in the screenshot that I was showing people on Discord, I think it was this, zoomed in like that, but actually Sutai is all of this as well. So they're quite a lot bigger than you would expect. So whether I play as a kingdom or whether I play as one of the smaller clans within that, I probably will play as one of the smaller ones. But Sutai is pretty well positioned, I think, to getting these 3 probably. Possibly even this one. I mean, they're not far off of it. Although you'd have to take over Itil. But the other interesting thing about this is Sutai, or Itil for that matter, are really well positioned for like an early Mongol horde type thing. So we could, if we played as a steppe horde, really create an entity that could be a serious threat to some of the western states. So yeah, that should be good. So before we actually make a decision here, and those were the 6 choices, I'm going to put up the poll one more time. This is going to be the final time for the poll. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes, based on the information that I've just given you, to make a decision, because this is still really close. There are just 2 votes between first and second place. So you've now got a little more in-depth information, and hopefully those of you who have not yet voted, and there's quite a few of you watching already, have an opportunity to do so. Huzzah! Hey, Poznik! All hail the High Lord King Emperor Mordred Viking. Thank you so much for that, Poznik. 16 months. That is insane. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, now I can actually read chat, because I was kind of self-absorbed there. Playing a normal game of CK2. Perfect game for it. Saxony owns 85% Scandinavia and reforms. Germanic. Oh, nice. Vote for Venice. We have Vikings. Well, I'd like Venice, but the problem with Venice is we've just been playing the Vikings. So it wouldn't be a lot of new stuff, except for the Merchant Republic events and things. One thing I should note is if we do go with a Merchant Republic, I probably will launch straight in. But if we go for one of the Nomads, we'll probably do a vanilla game, because I've literally never played as a Nomad, and I have no idea how the mechanics work. There's now 1 vote in it. You guys are just making this even worse. I mean, there's only really 2 runners, so I have to say Kavuna got 1 vote. Thanks, Fishy. They're not in it. Lachonoveria got 11% of the vote. Novgorod joined 11%. Baybarsid also got 11%. And we've got Venice and Sutai with 33 and 21 respectively. Other way around. So I think we're closing in on when this poll is going to close. Go Heretic or be a Cathar. They are absolute cognatic female commanders. I mean, that is something we can do. We could absolutely play one of those. But the thing is, I want to play a nation that has Crusades. Because I really want to see how Crusades have started. Because they're new in Holy Fury. They've been completely overhauled, and they seem to have done a lot of work on the Crusades. But I think we're still a little bit early for that to make sense. So we've got about 100 years, 150 years maybe, to play around and do some other stuff. On the Paradox Forum, there's a guy playing Ivar the Bonus. Start as Ivar and reform Bon. Maybe in the future. Viking Venice, just think of the longboats. There's going to be an awful lot of longboats and an awful lot of raiding. Kavuna got a second vote. Kavuna got a second vote. Huzzah! Runoff between the 2 front runners. Nah, I'm just going to recount close to call. Mordred the New Florida. No, I'm not going to randomize it. I want to see how this world continues to evolve, Simonism. That was part of the point of playing a Shattered World. Is it's just so fascinating seeing all the different nations rising and falling. Alright, so going by this, I'm just going to refresh it one last time just to make sure I have the last of them. 46 votes, 15 of which have gone to Sutai, so we are going to be playing as Sutai. So I am immediately going to back out of this because I have no idea how to play a Nomad, so I'm not going to ruin this save. And we're going to just play a vanilla game as the Nomads just for this stream, and then tomorrow we will start with Sutai proper, just so I know what's going on, because I have no idea. I have a feeling that the Horse Lords are going to be really quite different from the norm. Alright, so we have now actually played a little bit off-screen of the Horse Lords, so I kind of get how Nomads work, and we are now loaded in as Sutai. We spent a bit of time picking which of the kingdoms to play as. That was another poll that we took, and we have gone with the Tukids here, so we are... Wrong title. Nope, that's also wrong title. Where's Direct Vassals? Here we go. We are Tokra-kids, these light blue chaps here in the centre. So they are actually the furthest forwards of the Sutai who are not actually directly owned by Sutai themselves. And they seem to have a pretty decent power base. We have 2,500 troops already raised. These are prestige troops. We could... raise another, what, 200? I'm really going to need to work out how exactly these manpower things work. Because the manpower there... 200 and... yeah, okay, that does correlate slightly, kind of. So, in the future, we will be able to invest in some more people, but we haven't done that just yet. We have got 150 heavy cavalry, 525 horse archers, and 1,600 light cavalry. No intrigues going on right now. We have all of the open council positions, so this guy has clearly studied at the feet of Mordred the Bolgar, or the Bulgar fighty person. who fired his entire council because they refused to let him go to war. We do have agnatic succession. We have 2 dukes under us. That's a lot of clans. Okay, that's going to be messy. So we are these guys. We are the second biggest of the clans. These guys have just got... These 2, I think, have just got started. So it's really we 3, I would say, the top dogs. With you being... Yes, the Kargan of Sutai. Are you actually competent? For the moment, you are relatively competent, yes. And you don't utterly hate me. Good. That's good to know. And do we have council? Everything's council. Hence, we don't have a council, so we can do our own things. Minor titles, doable. We have a daughter. We are married to a 22-year-old, so I think there will be more children on the way. We're grooming an heir. And then also business focus. Business? No. Oh. Can't change my focus for a year. So that must have just been set. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with this. This is a good start. We're not in any of the societies. The new societies are the Eagle Warriors, which we may have a little bit of knowledge about. Oh no, it's the Wolf Warriors. I was thinking the Wolf Warriors. The Eagle Warriors are a different group. Then also the Plague Bearers, which are kind of the evil version. The Plague Bearers worship traditional believers called... the Plague Bearers worship what traditional believers would call evil spirits, as they have... Flipping hell, I cannot read. As they curse their enemies with disease and turn to Urlik, the god of death, to achieve their personal goals. Most unsettling are the rumours that they carry very little qualms in regard to how this dark favour is gained. Well, I don't think that we're outright evil. In fact, we're humble, brave, paranoid, sturdy, child of a concubine, and also a skilled tactician. Actually, decent dueling ability. So yeah, I would say that we're a fairly decent wartime commander. We could also really do with a couple more commanders, which actually we do have. Oh, I'm not leading myself. Well, I should be. And then Kessig is over there. Honorary title. I'm going to make you an Ishad, which is like one of our personal generals. Likewise with you, so we keep you guys on side. We could actually try to hire some better generals if we search all. My religion, sort by combat. Not a ruler. Male. Would join court. Yes, without my bribing them, because we don't have a huge amount of money. So we could bring in a couple of better fighters. So I shouldn't have made those other 2 Ishads, never mind. So I'm going to invite you to the court. I'm going to invite you to the court. Oh, you're a genius. Awesome. That's going to be helpful. And I need to find where my capital is. Where is my capital? There it is. And we have built cattle pens. That's literally it. Oh no, we've got level 1 in all of this. This is stuff that's not yet level 1. Okay, so have we built a shrine, which was recommended to me as a good thing to build? Yes, we do. Camp fortifications increases garrison size and fort level. Hunting parties is more shootiness. That's population and capital move. That's defense abilities. Riding. Nomad tax would be nice. Sentiment would also be good. That's a lot of armor. It costs 110, but I think that would actually be a really good investment, because that's an awful lot of defense that we could get for our troops. Join Papa Nurgle, you know you want to. Yeah, no. Communist Castro, I think I missed that follow. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I think that's a name I'd remember. If I get the Mongol Empire, you can become Genghis Khan by decision. By decision? I have decided I am Genghis. I've decided. It's now official. Alright, so who are we fighting? And what's this over? Kagan Beliski, the Eastern Wind. War for Kazakh. So this is me and my boss. Offered to join. We're already in the war. Aren't we? Oh, apparently we're not. And we're losing badly. So you're fighting over that. This is a war that we declared, I think, and we're losing, so not a huge problem. That's just going to hurt your prestige, which is actually good for me, because it means I am more likely to take over. Idak. That's the clan. My nephews are first in line, so I really need an heir. And then my 2 commanders are actually the next 2 in line for the Khaganate of Sutai. I want to see how this battle goes. This is just plains. You've accepted my invitation. Excellent. I'm going to wait until both of them are through. There they are. Alright, so laws, no. Council, minor titles. I'm going to fire you two because, frankly, you're terrible at your jobs. Then I'm going to bring in the 2 new guys. Because they're a heck of a lot better at their jobs. I'm also going to award you Ishad. And Ishad. And hopefully you will actually turn up to battles, which would be really nice. Organize a movement speed and retreat. Siege leader. I'm going to put you in command. You can be on that side, and I will take the left where actually the most troops are. Okay, let's get some combat experience. Yeah, that's true actually. Khan was a... Genghis Khan was a title because his name was Temujin. Genghis wasn't the title though, just Khan. Oh, does Genghis mean Great Khan? That could well be. Alright, battle is joined. I have heavies, they don't. They have slightly more cavalry archers. They also have some light infantry, which is not going to help them hugely. I think this is going to go down to morale, which they are actually winning. Wow, they have a level 27 marshal. Who's really good at commanding light infantry. Right. Resources, treasury. I have a dragon amulet, a level 4. Build cost is reduced by 10%. That's pretty nice. Monthly prestige, stewardship, and vassal opinion. Okay. And yeah, we're just trying to save up a bit of cash, but it actually looks like we might lose this fight. Oh, no, we got... Yeah, we are. It's you two. No, we lost. Run away. I don't even know what this fight was over. Is that part of this war? That's the dude I was fighting. Okay, so this is where we are going to start naming these guys after subscribers again. So let me just pull out the subscriber list. There you are. This is going to be a separate game. So this is going to be CK2. Sutai. This feels correct. The fact that the first of my cavalry horse lord heirs is Bussy. That just sounds so correct. And then also you need a new name. Which thankfully, because you are younger than 10, I can do. So Bussy is now my eldest son. That's just weird. And this is going to be Nathaniel. As in Captain Nathaniel. Because that's a girl's name right now. What happened in the last game? Did we lose? No, I think we were winning, but the intention was always to play as Sutai. That was just my testing and learning how horse lords worked, and I think I've got enough of a gist to not completely destroy this nation as soon as I begin. keeps falling in my eyes, which is not at all annoying. Alright, so we did lose a lot there. Commander of Sutai. So why am I... Oh, okay, I'm leading your army now, apparently. So be it for now. So let's back off. That's saying victory, that was not a victory. Guess we'll come back here and retake our capital. Thankfully this doesn't count as looted. Meanwhile, our boss is over there. You know what? Seeing as we seem to be in this war anyway, I'm going to formally join. Because I think that's going to earn me a portion of the prestige depending on my contribution. Which right now is at 0%, so I should have done that just before we fought that battle. That's fine. I know I'm missing a commander. I can only have 2. The third commander is actually me. I just need to grab myself before we actually fight another battle. Alright, so they have... Oh no, those are... those are raiders. So are those. Oh, our crest is the same as the Viking crests. I thought that was a Norse Germanic special, but apparently not. Huh. Well, alright then. I guess we'll follow you around. Although what I could do... Am I fighting this? Yeah, you're in the war. So we could go here, conquer their capital. Conquer that capital. It does look like the whole of Ulungur is in this war. What's their crest? Oh, that was Ulungur that we were just fighting against. Yeah, they're down there. Okay. I see how it is. Unfortunately, I don't have a huge amount of manpower left anymore. As much as I want the lamella thing, I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. Maybe we should get sheep too, to make more money.